are here together. Welcome. We're going to call each being and element in turn to come forward. And when we call them, we're going to all stand in honor and recognition of those beings. And when they come forward, then you can sit down and listen and witness what they have to say. And we're going to begin with fire. Because fire, stars, fire, heat, and light will illuminate and guide the opening of our Congress. Fire, please come. Stand while fire comes forward.
Susie.
We welcome you. On behalf of all beings and elements, fire, we welcome you. And we turn over this platform and this time of speaking to you.
We are fire. We are neutral energy. We can destroy and create. We are cranky. That we have been part of the imbalance of nature, and that so much has been burned that didn't need to be burned. We are tired of being the only source. We are useful. We have powered everything for the last 150 years. We want to take a break. Find a new energy source aside from burning things like old fossil fuels, and attain our energy from what is given daily. Our gifts are energy, the sun and burning, the burning in the earth, the light, the heat, the warmth of creation, the warmth and community of a campfire, the transformation and cleansing. We light the darkness, we make the wind. We are beautiful, we can indicate safety. We nurture the soul, we cook the food. We know just how we want to burn. We enable photosynthesis. We build land when we erupt from the earth as volcanoes. Our rights are to not burn as fossil fuels, to not be managed in nature, to be honored and respected for the power and the balance of our abilities, to be part of sustainable energy protection. We'd like to see a future where mass communities are not built, where fires would freely roam. We'd like to harness the power of the sun to our glorious benefit and relearn a balanced use of fire. We are fire, we are flame. Anything else? Do you want me to describe the picture? This was this picture came out of our sort of collective imagery, though they want you to hold it up, of fire in terms of the internal burning in the earth, the molten lava, and then the fire of creation within us as women, and the connections that that has to so many different things, like sex and children and the heart and the hearth. So we sort of created an image to go along with it.
And the sun.
And the sun.
Which our source of energy comes.
Which is a fire we use without actually touching, building, or ending. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
you. We accept the offerings of fire, and we enter these into the congressional record. We call now on air. Please stand as air comes forward.
We have shy people that are air.
Be seated.
We are air. We are breath. We are wind. We are tornado. We are hurricane. We are night sky. We are silence. We give the gifts of breath, freshness, freedom, change. We carry messages. We feed fire. We co-create tornadoes and hurricanes. We detoxify. We nourish. We are energy. We are life. We are open space. We are listening. We are potential. We are peace. We have the right to be clean and unpolluted by noise, manufactured noise, electromagnetic energy, chemicals, radioactivity, and light pollution. We have the right to be clear. We have the right to be available and free to all beings. We have the right to be able to move unobstructed in all directions, to follow our own pattern and rhythms. We have the right to create weather and temperature patterns without intervention. Human beings have the responsibility to ensure that the inhalation and exhalation of human civilization upholds the integrity of the natural state of a healthy ecosystem. The responsibility to re-engineer, retool, reimagine, and replace mechanical systems to be completely sustainable and to heal existing damage. And when we say sustainable, we mean to take from the system only that which can be regenerated by the system, and to put into the system only that which can be absorbed by the system. Human beings have the responsibility to educate current and future generations about what it means to protect the air. The responsibility to create the conditions for air to be able to give its gifts, and to assess the impact of current technologies on the air and take appropriate action based on those findings. Thank you.
Thank you, Air. Thank you. We enter these documents into the congressional record. And water. Please rise as water comes forward.
We are the water beings here with you. We are light, we are nurturance, we are sustenance, we are flow, we merge with love, movement, cleanse, source, fun, play, sound, home, connectivity, intuitiveness, depth, coolness, sacredness, transition, power, energy, embodiment, regeneration. We are tears, we are patterns, we are currents. We bring tides and food, we flush, we have cycles, we are transformation. We are malleable into different states, we are shape shifters. We are earth, we are birth. We are ice and steam and vapor. We are growth, we are destruction, and we are reconstruction. We are joy. We have the right to flow freely, to be clean, to be pure, to to be respected, to not be wasted, to be treated as sacred. We have the right to be here in all our forms and to take care of all beings, to be shared equally, to flow through our cycles in a balanced and nurturing way, to be freely available, not to be commodified. The right to participate and vote in decisions about our well-being, to continue to cool the earth, to give life to all, the right not to poison the earth and living beings, to be protected and shared for generations to come, to transform, to not be dammed and fracked, to fall and evaporate without toxins, to heal others, not to be used to extinction or to be removed from the water cycle permanently, not to be turned into toxic waste, and to know that future generations of waterways are cleaner and more flourishing than they are today. To be a healthy home and mother for more than 70% of life. The right to be held in public trust, the right to be solid like rock, the right to not have my cycles distorted by human-induced climate change, the right to not be sold in increments or divided, not to be used for dumping of industrial and other waste, the right to have my clouds unpolluted, the right to break things down, to support life in the womb without contamination, for menstrual blood not to be contaminated with chemicals, the right to not deliver contamination, not to be a carrier or a conduit for that, the right to pool or gather in natural formations without interference, and to be absorbed naturally into the earth, to be collaborated with respect to natural balance for the good of all life, for historic flows and waterways to be respected, to not be owned by an entity, to not to be turned into real estate, the right to legal protection, the right of ocean currents and temperatures not to be disturbed by climate change, the right to be loved and celebrated and considered sacred, the right to be respected as a finite resource, the right to be purified and restored, the right to be in our power, and to provide for the many and not for the few. And the responsibilities, this was a very verbose group, so I apologize for the length, but to honor all that was said. Responsibilities that we have are to limit human population, and this created a lot of dialogue, so it's an interesting piece for this group. To recognize water as the giver of life and as a finite resource. To create a sustainable system of water that is water use that is deeply transformational, and to educate in sustainable, healthy practices. To create and uphold laws of protection. To hold water in the public trust. To not commodify or capitalize on water. To allow water to have rights in a court of law, to seek a new language about water, to have the right relationship with water, to be grateful and to practice gratitude, to develop a body of law recognizing the rights of nature, to not put chemicals or other pollutants into the water, soil, or air, to purify water in an ecological way, to develop and utilize clean sources of energy and to develop better energy conservation practices, to limit and reverse human-induced climate change, to listen to the messages of water, not deny them, and to take action. To be conscious of our thoughts and our thoughts' effects on water, and to respect water's patterns and cycles. Thank you.
We thank you, water, and we accept these gifts and rights and responsibilities into the congressional record. And earth, soil, and rock, please come forward. Stand. You may be seated.
Take the microphone out of there.
Cool. So we are earth, rock, soil, and microbes. The living matrix in the soil. Who showed up was soil, mountain, the mother Gaia, Mother Earth, deep geologic time time showed up. Gaia Pachamama, the living matrix of soil, and the intelligence of nature decided to come and sit with us. It was a good voice. Beaches, the edge zone. Interestingly, oil, gas, and coal, tar, sands, and other extracted minerals showed up in our caucus. Soil again, and stone. And the gifts of soil are food and billions of years of slow accumulation. The gifts of mountain is a place for water and home and shelter for many, many animals. Also a gift to us of inspiration, majesty, both solidness and spaciousness, spaces inside that are empty. The living matrix, well, okay, this is gonna be complicated. I'm gonna do it. Soil also gives the gifts of health, both physical and emotional health, and the possibility of healing by giving a home to things that support and nurture us as humans, and the soil supports and nurtures those things that heal us. The living matrix that's within the soil is the substrate, the foundation for all of life. Beaches, the edge zones, is a home for creatures and also gives us the space to be, to relax, to connect with the water world. And the beaches remind us that water once was everywhere and created this local landscape. Stone. Stone says, I remind you of the meaninglessness of time. I emerge. You do not control. Deep geologic time gives us the gifts as a neutral scribe of the history of life, holding the secrets of what happened before and what may happen next. The Mother Earth provides for all. She is our host. Her current gifts are not infinite, but she will outlive us. She gives us the gift of life in this vast universe. She gives us wonder. She is the center of living community. And Gaia Pachamama is the source of balance, unity, wholeness, wisdom, regeneration, an enduring flow of reciprocity, earth, great gifts. The rights of beaches. Beaches says, what does right mean? What does this mean to have rights? I can say how I feel or what I do, but it seems a little foreign to have rights. Soil says, we all have a right just to be. I am dying. I have a right to be fed and cared for so that desertification does not happen all over the whole globe. Stone has the right to be recognized as a sacred landscape, to be used with mindfulness, and to be recognized as a sentient being, a kind of sentience different from humans. The living matrix in the soil has a right to maintain its rich diversity, its health, so that it has the ability to do its job. Mountain has a right to remain intact as one piece, to retain its wholeness and integrity, and a right to continue to reach up and touch the clouds. Oil, gas, tar, sands, and minerals has a right not to be exploited, just to remain, to be held sacred, to just exist apart from human value, holding up the earth with a purpose that perhaps we as humans do not know. The soil has a right to be respected, to be respected. Mother Earth, 1 and 2, to maintain the balance of my vital integral cycles and the interdependence of all that lives on me, and to be respected by all beings, just to be healthy, to be able to maintain our essence, the essence of all that lives on Mother Earth's body, to be considered sacred and to be honored. And one deep geologic time says that she has the right to continue to collect her library of history as a record of the intelligence of nature, and to have my historic record used for the intelligence of nature. All these beings have the right of their own sovereignty, came up again. And the intelligence of nature chimed in and said, I am the right. I am that right. Right is intrinsic. It's beyond what humans know, responding to Beach's first remark. And then, as human beings, responding to all of these other beings, came up with, we have the responsibility to listen, to be humble, because we are truly in the presence of great teachers with great gifts. We have the responsibility to educate ourselves and to respond appropriately, as well as to listen to that unseen level. We have a responsibility to fully inhabit our own creative life force and know our own sacred nature so that we may act in right relationship. We have a responsibility to admit our incomplete perspective and knowledge and mistakes. We have a responsibility to act in deep counsel, and measure time without haste. That was Stone who said that. Can you tell? We have a responsibility to embrace with honor and dignity our collaboration with the earth as a whole community and our cooperation with each other as human beings. To steward, to think ahead, to feed the soil, to feed what needs being fed, to act with reciprocity, to show gratitude for these gifts, to remember that our actions affect the whole of the web of life, and to embrace our oneness and interdependence, to act without fear, each of us to evolve our own selves and in spite of fear, and in friendship with fear. To speak, to share what I learn from the soil, the earth, the rocks, and to act, use what I learn as a basis for my actions. And we have a responsibility to redesign our economic, etc. systems in alignment with the cycles of earth and the intelligence of nature.
Thank you. Earth, rock, soil, and microbes. We accept these into the congressional record. We accept these into the congressional record. Thank you. Earth, rock, soil, and microbes.